it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I am super excited to be here to join in the celebration for Christine over at Patter Crafts for her 500 YouTube subscribers. This is being put on by Scrapping for Less, and Teresa over at Scrapping for Less is offering a $50 gift code for the winner in this giveaway. So the more comments you leave on the different channels and blogs that are part of this hop, will be more opportunity for you to win. So I am going to be making some really cool cards that glow in the dark. I am using Wow glow in the dark embossing powder, Nuvo glow in the dark glow drops, Delusions ink sprays in Pure Sunshine, Postbox Red, Crushed Grape, London Blue, Virant Turquoise, and Fresh Lime. And I'm going to spray those on different types of cardstocks. So I used Nina 110 pound and I used some watercolor, Case Kanson's watercolor, and the watercolor definitely worked better. The Nina was so slick that some of the inks really moved, but then they sometimes got mucky as they got together. Then I used a Tea Party stencil from Visible Image and the Glacier paste in Quicksilver and put that all over. Now I used my heat gun to speed up the drying process of this, but I don't know if it would have done it if I would have waited longer and really let the ink set, but it was a really cool effect on the card at the end because the Nuvo paste kind of picked up some of the colors from the inks. And so it just gave it a really awesome effect. Now I don't know if I would want that on other projects, but because this was Alice in Wonderland and everything with Alice in Wonderland is kind of out there and odd, I loved how it turned out. Then I used the same stencil with embossing powder, with the glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. So I used some Brutus Monroe embossing ink, and then I used the Wow glow-in-the-dark embossing powder on that. And don't ask me why I was using the anti-static tool on this particular, I forget it every time I actually need it, and when I didn't need it, I remembered to use it. So there you go. Now the one thing I will say with the embossing powder is it does not dry perfectly clear as far as, being on this dark paper. So I have not used it on white, so I'm not 100% sure if it does it on white, but on this real dark paper you can kind of see it, which I thought was okay because, again, with the theme of this project, that kind of gave it a cool look anyway, even without knowing it. Now the stamp sets I used were the Cheshire Cat and the White Rabbit from Visible Image. And the Cheshire Cat one actually has eyes, nose, and a mouth piece that go along with the entire cat image. So I was able to use that to emboss it with some embossing ink and then put that glow-in-the-dark paper on there, or powder on there, which gave it a really cool effect. Then on one of the background pieces I used the scratch marks, and I just used the embossing powder all over that with the embossing ink and stamped it in no particular rhyme or order, but it ended up being cool because how I placed the cat, it actually looks like scratch marks, like he is sitting there with the scratch marks. So like I said, I just think these cards really came out awesome for the type of project that they are. I may not have been as happy with it if I was making something different, but the way these are, I love how they came out. And like I said, you can still kind of see the scratch marks even after you heat emboss it. So it's not completely clear as far as, you're not going to be able to see it. And I think on those dark colors, no matter what you used, you'd be able to see something. Now I didn't leave the coloring in here because I just did really quick coloring on these images. But those are the colors that I used. And on the images, the eyes themselves don't really have a way to put color around it, so I added my own color. I added the yellow around the cat's eyes and the blue around the White Rabbit's eyes. I took the We're All Mad Here sentiment from the Cheshire Cat stamp set, and I stamped that 3 times on a piece of the paper that I used the alcohol sprays on, or the ink sprays on, and I cut the sentiment out with a torn paper die that I can't remember who the company is for that, but I used unicorn white ink from Hero Arts to stamp the image, and then I put the glow-in-the-dark embossing powder on that so that that would glow as well, but you were still able to see it really well on that paper, on that real colorful paper. So I stamped that 3 times, and like I said, I cut the images out, and that is what I'm going to use for my sentiment. Now, the reason why I love these, and I did not put ones on the inside, is, and I know this is a celebration hop, and we're supposed to make celebration cards, but for me, these are celebration cards. Like, I would love to get this card. And on the inside, I can put all different types of sentiments that either come with these stamps, but I have a lot of stamps from different sets for Alice in Wonderland. So there's a lot of different sentiments, like, you know, have a happy unbirthday and things like that. Then I use some fun foam to pop up the background piece or underneath the background piece, and I used a Stitch Wonky die to cut all of the panels out. Then I did end up using a piece of paper, white cardstock, behind the sentiments because I just thought it needed something a little bit more. And then I used the crocodile to round out the ends on those pieces, the white pieces that are underneath the sentiments, and I thought that worked out really well. Then I actually used some ink pads from Scrapping for Less kits, from Your Next Stamp, an olive green color and a sunflower yellow color, to edge all of the white backgrounds for the sentiments. Now, I did end up popping up the Cheshire Cat and one of the white rabbits, and the other one I left flat. I just liked it popped up a little bit better, so that's, you know, after I stuck one down there, I was like, oh, maybe I'll actually do the next one, that one. So that one's with the green, and then the next two that I do will be with the yellow. Now, I did take a black marker to edge all of the images. So the Cheshire Cat, that's what I'm doing there, is just edging it off. I just like how it looks. It kind of hides any mistakes or any areas that weren't cut out properly, or, you know, maybe a little bit off. Now when I put these backgrounds down, these background panels, I did put them off. I wanted them to be off. Again, this is Alice in Wonderland, so everything's a little bit off. And then I just popped on the image and popped on the sentiment, and that is the first one complete. I did end up going back. Now this is the Nuvo Glow in the Dark drops, and this was something that was interesting too. So after I put these on, they kind of go on that yellow, but when they dried, they actually absorbed the colors that were on the ink. And so like the ones that were in the area of the purple and the blue, they actually come out a green color. The ones that were on the kind of reddish came out almost an orange, a real dark orange color. And the ones that are on the yellow and green kind of came out a kind of like a lime, dark lime green color and stuff. So I think that gave it a really cool effect. And they also glow, which by having that color there, you wouldn't realize that that's what that was all about. So looking at the card, I don't know that I would know that that was going to glow in the dark when I turned off the lights. So I think that can be a kind of cool surprise for anyone. Now this one is the one that I did not pop up. I just popped it on there, and then like I said, I kind of thought, no, I think I kind of want to do that again. I liked how it looked better with it being popped up a little bit. And then this is the final one. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, it's a lot of fun, and the glow-in-the-dark embossing powder by WOW and the Nuvo drops really do glow very well. It doesn't last long, but it does glow well when you first turn off the lights. So I thought that was really cool, and I think this is a really fun project. So I want to congratulate Christina on her 500 YouTube users. Make sure, like I said, that you comment, subscribe to my channel, like the video, but the more comments that you put along this hop, the bigger the chance you will have, or the greater the chance you will have at getting that $50 Scrapping for Less gift code. So I hope everyone takes care, that you're staying healthy, and Here at the end, I'm sorry, I also put in some glossy accents on the eyes, the clock or the watch for the white rabbit, and his buttons. So I think that turned out really cool. So again, thanks everybody. Take care and make sure you hop to the next person. I will have it listed below. Thank you and have a wonderful day. And again, stay healthy.